I drive a sports car just to prove that I'm a real big baller, cause I made $1 million and I spent it on girls. But you don't wanna be high like me, never really know why like me. You don't ever wanna step off that roller coaster all alone. And you don't wanna ride the bus like this, never knowing who to trust like this. You don't wanna be stuck up on that stage singing, stuck up on that stage singing. Oh, I know I sad songs, I sad songs.
Welcome back, everybody, to the EGFC. It's Season 4 League Championships kicking underway. Our main stream already live, twitch.tv/EGF Rocket League, if you've already wanted to check out the games that have gone on. But if you want to stick around here, it's William and Mary taking on Butler University. I'm Time to Light. Joined alongside me here is Whoops You. And it's our first match of the night of 5 here. Whoops, give me the lowdown on these two teams.
William and Mary coming into this matchup being number 14 here in the conference, and Butler being number 9. So a little bit of an even playing ground, in my personal opinion, pretty much as close as it possibly gets as far as Rocket League terms go. So I like to call this matchup between these two teams a coin flip, a virtual coin flip, because it just depends on what team we're going to see here on the pitch. I will say, though, I believe that Butler is coming into this matchup with a couple of goals over William and Mary. I think 63 total goals. I'm sorry, 65 total goals on the season, whereas William and Mary only have 51. So, I mean, that's kind of something to keep your eye on. Maybe a little bit of lackluster of offense so far for William and Mary, so they have a little bit more to prove here. But at the same time, I'm really kind of leaning towards Butler just because of the sheer fact that, they're ranked a little bit higher. And on top of that, they have that present offense.
They're ready. Seems like our teams may very well be ready to go as well. And I have to say, I'm excited to see this first matchup really setting the tone for the league championship, showing us what our teams have to offer. We'll find out as we kick things underway. It's a best of 5, first to 3 for all of you Overwatch fans out there. William and Mary coming into things a little bit more favored as they came out top 2 in their conference. Butler got in strictly based off of their league placement, so that is why William and Mary got this opening matchup. Now, there's no reason to think one team significantly overtops the other unless Truth takes shots like that on a consistent basis and open up the scoring in just 20 seconds.
Yeah, you're talking about the shot. I'm looking at the pass itself from Dolphin off of the back corner from the ceiling as well, using the flip reset to pass that one up ahead to Legacy, who's going to score first for William and Mary. So, I mean, starting things off with some fireworks here, and you were saying how William and Mary pretty much are the favorites in this matchup. I'm still kind of siding towards Butler.
Unless Dolphin can redirect like that, another pass straight into a shot. Butler got caster cursed in the first 30 seconds of the game. Whoops, you did.
Yes.
Coming through early. What a shot from Dolphin as well. You were talking about the pass in their previous goal. Talk about the shot this time around.
Yeah, this is absolutely insane offense right now for William and Mary. They're playing just peak performance Rocket League as far as passing goes as well, getting everybody involved on the offensive end. So a thing of beauty, and another goal here for Legacy. Going to start off William and Mary 3-0. Officially, I think 7 seconds off the clock here in game number 1.
Morales, unfortunately caught a little bit out of position, was forced quickly into the corner. And they were worried about the original demo, but Dolphin just turned it into a pass and a shot easy again for William and Mary. Again, the 14th seeded team after regulation standings ended, and yet are 3-0 up against a team that finished in 9th. Truth, ball forward. Akashi should be able to get back in time and will, but Dolphin quickly there to recuperate the ball. Now off the ceiling, looking for maybe a shot of their own, will not be able to get it. Akashi will clear the zone.
Yeah, I mean, so far now we're starting to see that little bit of resistance here for Butler, but at the same time, it's one of those things where it's a little too late. There's still a lot of time on the clock, don't get me wrong, but starting off with a 3-0 scoreline, it's a little bit more difficult to kind of come back from, especially playing at this level of Rocket League. We're going to see if Butler can indeed start to mount that comeback, though, but we have William and Mary who have, I was going to say, a lead, almost added another one on was Truth, but just shot that one too hard off the back wall.
That one off the sidewall. Truth out forward for Legacy, who has full boost. It will be denied as Craig will send it to the corner. Dolphin looking for another pass. This one a little less stylish and significantly less successful, but it's still manageable here in the midfield. Legacy goes for a demo, is bumped into it, I believe. Pass across, but Truth not as far forward as I think their teammate would have thought. So the ball goes a little stagnant in the midfield. Morales and Truth both whiff just a little bit, but it's enough for Legacy to recuperate the ball and now turn into offensive pressure. But just like that, Craig's able to deny it just the same.
Yeah, you know Morales wants that one back on the offensive end. He pre-jumped a tad bit. This one might find its way in, and it is going to find its way in. Akashi going to go ahead and score first here for Butler. At least putting them on the board here. And like I said beforehand, it's still a lot of time left on the clock. 3 minutes remaining. You can definitely score 2 goals in that amount of time. Typically, what the going rate is for Rocket League is about, what, 30 seconds, 20 seconds apiece per goal. So, I mean, Butler's sitting pretty. They're not out of this matchup just yet, especially after a kickoff performance like that one from Akashi. Dolphin does save it away, though.
Legacy to the corner. Dolphin trying to keep pressure here, especially vertically, but can't do so as successfully as they would have thought. Still keeping the ball in the offensive zone as well is the Bulldogs. And reminder, Butler is the team that hosted the Big East Conference Championships, but was dropped out of them fairly early on. They also, if anybody's curious, host the NACE Conference and League Championships in just a week's time or so. Akashi, off the top wall, is denied by the 4th defender. Morales looking for another one. Dolphin shuts that one away, but Morales' follow-up will keep the ball in this William & Mary offensive zone. Dangerous enough to force Legacy to make a gamble save, but nobody's home. Truth doesn't even have to touch it. Does anyway, just for a turtle goal, and William & Mary make it a 4th.
That's a good goal right here from William & Mary. They did catch the defense off guard. Nobody home. And all they had to do was put a shot towards net, and that one was going to find its way in. The Truth just does a very minimum to put that one away. So going up by 3 once again is William & Mary as we approach 2 minutes and 15 seconds left here in game number 1. And I was kind of talking about and hinting towards in game 2, kind of just, washing this one away. It's just a bad start. One of those matches where, you let it get away from you early. You can't really recuperate for Butler. But at the same time, in my personal opinion, I'm not sure about you, TTL, you kind of have to, still try your absolute hardest to kind of come back in this matchup and just at least put up a fight here and get the rhythm going in this game number 1.
The goal here is to really set the tone rather than setting the game in your favor. Because
Exactly.
in all fairness, this is not a game that you're going to win. Yeah, it's a 3-goal deficit. Sure, you have a minute 40 to bring it back, but William & Mary came out of the gate so strong, they got into a comfortable rhythm and set themselves up for success. Legacy now has the ball up for Dolphin, who's going off the back wall, but Truth is too far forward, and instead will just turn it into a pass, one that is not capitalized off of, but is still kept in this offensive zone. William & Mary taking more and more time off the clock, something that the Bulldogs cannot afford to give away, and Legacy just faking him out of contortion. That pinch back was dangerous. Luckily, Dolphin does flex in time.
Approaching the 60-second mark here in game 1. Knocking on the door once again is William & Mary. They're going to answer it as well. What a shot right here from Truth. And then the advancement as well from Dolphin and the Legacy. So once again, everybody getting involved here for William & Mary.
Pickups as well for William & Mary to really close things out. The general rule of thumb, as you said, a goal every 20 or 30 seconds. The threshold if you're down by 3 or 4 is a minute to a minute 20, if not more. And we've surpassed both of those, especially if you're down by 4. This should be over. It's really down to Butler to say, GG, go next. This is a game 1 that we did not pick up very well. We need to be able to slow things down, recuperate, and figure out what went wrong. Notably, this would be 2-1 if the first 40 seconds didn't count. But unfortunately, they do. So it's
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. They definitely just kind of wash this one away. 30 seconds remaining here. They're knocking on the door, so they're starting, like I said, to gain that momentum, maybe start to establish their offense heading into the next game. But at the same time, still a lot of work to be done. Goes Craig at midfield. Oh my goodness, Morales going to find the lower 90. The defense of William & Mary was there and present, but he just snuck that one by him.
important pickup in the later stages of this first game as well. I said this game's over, and I'm going to stick by that. There's 20 seconds to score 3 goals. For all you mathematicians, it's like 6 1/3 seconds per goal. It's not happening, or 6 2/3 seconds per goal to be exact, but still, it's just not happening. But
Yeah.
with that goal, however, have picked up a little bit of momentum going into game number 2, noting that they know what they have to do. That is set themselves and their team up for success. Team play is what's going to break apart this William & Mary defense. Those solo plays forward that we saw in the earlier stages just aren't going to do it, and that's exactly why we saw this first game go William & Mary's way.
William & Mary gonna hang on and win this one 5-2, starting off with some fireworks, a 3-0 deficit as well. Walking away with a hat trick is going to be Truth, has himself 3 goals and 1 apiece as well for Dolphin and Legacy on William & Mary. So like we said beforehand, we did see a lot of offensive presence right there for William & Mary, but it was just a little bit of a rocky start there for Butler for beginning of game number 1. And On top of that, we can potentially see, like you said, TTL, you said basically if this one, the first 40 seconds of this ball game wasn't there, then we would see an overtime here in game number one. We could see that 2-2 scoreline with that golden goal opportunity. I'm looking forward to the next couple of matches because we could still potentially see that matchup and still see a potential overtime.
It also looks like William and Mary did get a little bit more comfortable in the later stages, but in that middle of the game, it looked like Butler controlled the pace of the game. Surprisingly enough, considering, well, how the first 40 seconds went, they warmed up a little bit. They got a little bit more comfortable. We'll see if that plays in their favor as the game continues, because it has to. They cannot afford to give this away again.
We're starting off game number two now, all fresh, all zeros to the score line, but we're going to have possession in favor of William and Mary. Truth is in the corner. Morales, great cover up. Going to take that possession away temporarily for William and Mary. As we see, now everybody's going to start to gather towards the goal line. Morales, once again, the ball taken away by Legacy. Going to be popped over into the corner towards midfield as well. Truth trying to read that one, trying to play some mind games with Akashi. He does manage to get some sort of contact and push it over into the corner. Last person back was Craig. That's an interesting challenge right here. He does indeed do the best that he possibly can. He was the last person back to get that ball away from William and Mary, but they're still having so much pressure.
No.
And a huge mistake right there is going to be credited for a goal in favor of William and Mary. Dolphins going to walk away with the first one here. And just watch this one back on the goal line as you see Craig on the rotation back through, just accidentally hits this one in.
Dolphin would have scored that one anyway, even if Craig didn't come back, but the way they came back unfortunately cost them. I think they were trying to touch it a little bit more towards the side, but Dolphin with that extra last-second touch really set themselves up well. Truth now up, got a flip reset off the ball, but it's going back towards their own net. Hopefully they don't go for an own goal stylistic one at that, but no, it is just patience here for William and Mary. They need to be able to clear the zone, and Dolphin's going to look to do just that. Nice little air dribble up and over two, but cannot get it past Morales as the third man. Legacy, uncharacteristic miss, sets Akashi up well, who puts it forward to Morales, and Butler finish strong. William and Mary give him the opportunity, and Butler take full advantage of it.
Yeah, everybody was just bunched up towards the right side of the pitch right there. Dolphin coming off the back wall, trying to get that one away, trying to get it cleared away as well. But the takeaway from Morales at midfield pretty much started that transition and started that offensive segment right there for Butler and resulted in a goal in favor of Morales as well. Now we have ourselves a tie ball game, and it's looking really, really favorable. Like I said beforehand, we could see that potential overtime. We still have a lot of time on the clock still, 3 minutes and 30 seconds to be exact. And now William and Mary are knocking on the door once again.
Are starting to encroach as well and not allow Butler to get as comfortable as we saw them in the earlier stages of that game. Krieg up, now looking to set up Akashi maybe, but doesn't get the touch they wanted, nor the flip reset they needed, so no follow-up. Dolphin now back the other way, flick forward, up for himself. Legacy was set up. Akashi was even bumped out by Dolphin himself, but it didn't work out. Now nobody's back. That shot, Morales scores. Butler with their first lead.
This is the Butler team I was expecting to see. Just so much pressure, so much offense, like I talked about beforehand, heading into this matchup. We did see in favor of Butler, 65 goals on the season. William and Mary only 51. I was expecting to see a lot more defense from William and Mary, courtesy of the high-powered offense from Butler. But for the most part, it has been William and Mary in control. Now Butler has their chance to go ahead and add another one on. Can they get back to it? Morales was up in the air, trying to do the best they can to hit that one in. But we still have possession. Akashi going to try to sneak that one in as well. Dolphin cleared it away over towards midfield and some. Going to force this one off the back wall. So Butler doing a good job here in game number two. And we talked about it before. Just a poor start for them last time. Let's see if they can add one more on to their lead.
Akashi up, shot straight forward. Dolphin denies it. True, the follow-up will send it into the corner. William and Mary, that save might as well have kept them in this game, because if Butler creates a 2-goal lead, William and Mary's late game pressure just was not there in our previous game, at least not as consistently as it would have needed to be to surmount a 2-goal deficit. That shot will miss, albeit not by much, but it will miss nonetheless. Akashi in the midfield will go for a follow-up shot. Morales tried for a bump, but will indeed miss just the same. It's still danger for William and Mary on a consistent basis, though.
I do like the slow play right here from Akashi. He knows he has a little bit of time. There was a demolition on the pitch. And on top of that, Morales, once again, picking up his third goal here in game number two. Got the hat trick. But look at the pass right here from Akashi. Just such a smart play. But the presence right there from Butler in their offense was just too much for William and Mary.
Not only that, but Akashi setting it up in the way he did actually threw William and Mary off and gave him a false sense of security. Because with the ball in the corner, you're not expecting a pinch into the midfield in the next 2 seconds. A response from Dolphin, though, a double tap off the back wall will set themselves right back to that 1-goal deficit.
Yeah, what a double touch indeed from Dolphin. He knew as soon as he went up in the air, he was going to hunt for that double touch. He used his boost smart. He didn't have much to go with, but at the same time, he knew he had to at least hit that one, and he did just that. Only down by 1 now is William and Mary. So they're fighting their way back. They're definitely making their presence felt, and they have possession now heading over to the orange half of the field. As we quickly approach the minute and 30-second mark here in game number 2. Want to remind everybody who's just tuning in that William and Mary did win the first matchup 5-2. Butler trying to equalize the series now 1-1.
Morales set up well to do so, looking for a double top of their own, but it will not happen. Dolphin will deny on the back wall. Truth, a follow-up needs to keep things out. William and Mary need to calm things down just a little bit. Yes, they're down a goal. Yes, there is only a minute and change remaining, but they cannot force themselves into awkward positions because they're overcommitting. That's what we've seen a lot thus far this game, and the reason that Butler has had so much offensive pressure.
60 seconds now on the clock. Legacy with a slow play at the midfield line. Going to pass that one off to Truth. Up in the air now is Craig. He had to challenge that one. Dolphin pretty much almost had that one dead to right. Here comes Morales. Maybe trying to add one more on to his total. Has 3 already. Can he do it? Going to be a midfield pass instead to Craig. Another follow-up touch, though, from Morales. Craig over towards Morales as well. Nobody home to receive that pass. Going to be wasted away. Wasted an offensive opportunity right there from Butler.
Dolphin can follow up here, though. Akashi does 50 it properly and gets it up and over Dolphin. Last one back is Legacy. Gets a touch and towards the corner. Truth gets the follow-up, though, and denies the midfield pressure, but Krieg with the pinch off the defender will give Butler the 2-goal lead with just 20 seconds left and an 84-mile-an-hour shot with some speed and a little bit of mustard on it. Butler will almost certainly secure this second game.
Once again, came down to that midfield line. Akashi had that one from midfield, and on top of that, won that 50-50 battle from the corner. Looking for another goal here is William and Mary. That one's going to be shot over to the left-hand side. Greg now just has to stall the clock out. 2-goal deficit isn't going to do much here for William and Mary, but at the same time, Butler are indeed going to hang on to this 2-goal lead. Barring anything crazy happen, this dribble here from Dolphin going to be taken away. Butler going to win this matchup 4-2, and they tie up this series once again.
Keep us fairly close to even, and the way they did so as well, I think looked a little bit better than what we saw from William and Mary in that first game. And for a couple different reasons. Obviously, number one, they didn't need the first 40 seconds of 3 goals strung back to back to back to set themselves up for success. But also the contrary point to that, in the middle of the game, they didn't give up all that much pressure compared to what we saw from William and Mary. They kept consistent. Sure, they gave up a goal or two, but it was off the back of a masterful double tap and a little bit of help later on from Craig. So all in all, you're not looking at a terrible game for Butler, really at any aspect. They also controlled the tempo of the game, forcing William and Mary out into the open, out of their comfort positions, and also catching them off with some clean pinch saves and shots, as we saw on the setup for a goal just a few seconds ago.
Yeah, I was going to say that as well. They're really controlling the pace of play, the tempo. They're taking things slow. They're being really methodical with a lot of their touches as well. Think back to that one goal from Akashi. He pinched that one from the corner, a good pass to Morales, and then basically he just drilled that one home with nobody to respond to it. On top of that, they have a lot of that midfield pressure that we consistently see teams who do very, very well. They control the midfield and that midfield boost. So you're starting to see a lot of that from Butler. If William and Mary have any chance of winning this ball game, they're going to have to start to, compete with them at that midfield line. On top of that, they're going to have to start winning some kickoffs as well. That's the first kickoff I've seen William and Mary win since I think game number 1.
Needless to say, it's been a little while. Truth up and over. Double commits there. Dolphin will try the dunk shot over top, but will be unsuccessful in their endeavor. Akashi will keep the ball out, though, and at least allow Butler to reset for a few extra seconds. Truth back onto the ball. Legacy is there, trying to set Truth up for success, but Morales avoids the demo attempt or bump attempt by Truth, and will keep the ball out of harm's way for the time being. Dolphin's still there, though, and sets up Legacy, who almost set themselves up for another double tap opportunity, but an uncharacteristic miss on the back wall, and with just over today's date remaining on the clock, 4:20, well, it's William and Mary to open up the scoring.
I do like that, though. William and Mary went back to that strategy from game number 1, starting to try to score early, put the pressure onto Butler early on, and maybe watch them fold and watch them crumble. That's exactly what happened in game one. They're trying to apply that here in game two. Akashi, though, trying to answer back from that 1-goal deficit early on. I like the midfield pass. Here comes Morale. Oh my goodness. That was going to be saved away. Morales definitely wanted that shot. He wanted to add on to those overall totals that he had. He still has a second chance on this one as well. We approach 4 minutes left. This one might be a pass. He does play some mind games. Akashi up in the air. Dolphin up in the air as well. Craig with the follow-up. Going to be denied by the top crossbar. And William and Mary still have the lead.
Dangerous, though, still here for William and Mary. Butler is making sure that this pressure is held. Craig is denied. Morales, a follow-up shot, puts some mustard on it, but is denied just the same. And no corner boost will not allow them to keep up this offensive pressure. The midfield boost, however, will do just that. Now off the back wall, another centering pass, but Butler was forced to reset, so no follow-up means no goal in the early stages.
Another shot, though, coming through for Craig. The offensive pressure so far from Butler. We talked about it during the intermission, how much pressure they had. I want to talk about the saves on the season real quick for William and Mary. Overall saves are in favor of William and Mary. They have 99 headed into this matchup, whereas you see Butler only had 74. Story for that. Oh, a nice shot, a nice pass, the 1-2 punch once again from William and Mary work out. I was going to say the storyline in that one is that they face a lot more defense than they do offense, but this is a thing of beauty here on the offensive side.
The offense has continued to look a little bit better in this map as well here for William and Mary. They have given themselves a little bit more leeway on the defensive side, clearing the zone a little bit more often, and relieving some of that pressure. Like an expert doctor with a scalpel in hand, just like that. Legacy will deny. Truth with the follow-up, just at least allowing themselves to close down the angle, like soccer goalies do. Just setting themselves forward and denying all the space required. Morales now looking for a flip reset. Got their flip, got the reset, but could not get the goal. Only set the ball in towards the center, but could not in the end finish it. Dolphin looking for the contrary. Gets the flick backwards. It goes off the post. The follow-up from Truth. It's 3-0 William and Mary.
Yeah, this has not been the best start right here for Butler. Once again, they have just been outperformed and outfinished, and on top of that, just the defense so strong for William and Mary has kept them single-handedly in this game. The transition has been absolutely on fire. The 1-2 punch working out for them. That time, all three members getting involved there for William and Mary to push past the Butler defense. So now they have the lead 3-0, and they're knocking on the door once again. Morales trying to make something different here. Craig was trying to advance that 1-2 legacy with another save, though, for William and Mary.
William and Mary, again, just holding back the pressure of Butler, making it a lot better than the previous game until Butler can set themselves up well. Icaster's cursed it this time around. My bad, William and Mary. But Truth getting that ball out was a little scary, and then Craig interrupting Legacy on that back wall, removing that level of comfortability while playing defense, really allowed them to set up the passing play and then score at the end.
Good play right there from Butler to at least start this comeback. Hopefully can get this one. Truth, good decision, just had no boost to work with, and now everybody from William and Mary was committed towards the offensive side of the field. Morales didn't really have too much to work with. He's trying to do the best he can to keep the pressure onto the defensive side, and look at this, what we're talking about. The midfield pressure for the most part from Butler has just been phenomenal. Not really going to answer just yet with that offensive attempt. Truth still in the corner, still trying to battle. Legacy with the takeaway. Morales at the midfield line with the 50-50. Here comes Truth now for the demolition. The flick coming through. Can it get saved away? It does. Craig saves that one through the smoke.
It's dangerous as well. Legacy now up for Dolphin, looking for a follow-up shot. Has very little boost. The fake works, but Akashi just keeps their car stagnant in that air setup and denies the shot back the other way. Craig now forward. Butler, this is the real part where they need to start to score. They need to be able to limit this differential to just one, because as time continues to bleed off that clock, their odds of bringing it back fall just the same.
50 seconds to start this comeback. Morales at midfield once again. Legacy gonna slow play this one. The clock is working for them. A little bit of pace has to be picked up here for Butler. Morales once again from the corner. Can't really find some pay dirt. Akashi from the back as well. Legacy, another save. That's going to be 4 total for him. Ridiculous amount of saves so far for William and Mary, keeping their defense just I mean, the defense is just keeping them in this ball game so far.
That may very well be it as well. Final 15 seconds. This is a similar situation to what we saw in our previous game as well. Morales up will miss. Dolphin looking for the shot is actually faked out by the unintentional whiff on the back line. But with just 5 seconds left, it really will not matter. William and Mary are going to look to close things out. And again, a 2-goal deficit, this time to favor the Griffins, will send themselves up to match point.
Yeah, we talked about it beforehand, before the stream started. We were saying how much of a coin flip this was, and I was telling you guys that this is so close. Number 14, William and Mary taking on number 9, Butler. We see